Hi and good evening, you beautiful souls. Welcome to Free Flowing Thoughts live on UJR Talk Radio. The topic of the hour? Interracial relationships. Let's get into it.
I'm dealing with a white chick and everybody's looking at me. I just thought it was a little laugh and a joke. But then when you get around certain black sisters now, they make you know that there's not no joke about this. Like you're a sellout, yeah?
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't feel like a sellout. I just felt like I was just having fun. But when I really sat down and looked at it and sat down and looked at the situation, I thought, you know what, I'm a bit too good to be with this girl.
Wow.
When Tupac said he was walking around with Madonna and people was like, Pac, can't believe it, with a white girl. Yeah? And he said that he had to go back into himself and look and say, right, it's real though. Like, and I felt like that. Sometimes I was at my white chick's house and her mum was ranting and raving and EastEnders on and this and Facebook, everything's going on. And I'm in the top of the room thinking to myself, hold on, I'm Malcolm X. What am I doing in there?
Wow.
I am Malcolm X. What am I doing in here?
Yeah, I'm in the hook, yeah?
No, not even like that.
It's getting controversial.
Not even like that. But I thought to myself, you know what, I kind of let myself down like that. So, in the end, I knew that it was going to come to an end. And it did.
Wow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How did it come to, sorry, let me just ask you this relevant question. How did the relationship you had with this white female come to an end?
Well, we were pages apart, innit? So, in the long run, I know my morals. I know how I've been brought up. I know how people look at me. People look at me as a king. I don't think I can be a king walking around with this girl on my arm.
Right.
Wow.
Because she's not royalty.
Right.
Wow.
It's like Kanye West. I rate Kanye West, but don't come and try and tell me about no black people's thing with Kim Kardashian on your arm.
It's pretty hard to respect them, though.
Because you're gonna always try to accommodate your white chick. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I'm not like, I haven't got anything against people being with white chicks.
Right.
Yeah, you can be with a white chick if that's in your heart, and if you love that, then you love that. Yeah, but don't think that I'm not gonna, like, I haven't got nothing against you. If that's your wife, that's good for you. But me personally, for myself, I know what I'm worth and who I am, so I'm not gonna go and do that.
Okay, so just for a moment, let me hear from
That's
Chi,
real.
because that is very real. Chi, let me hear from you. What's your thoughts?
Wow. I got to give you a little bit about my background before I answer that question.
Go ahead.
My mother's a black American.
Okay.
She's a civil rights. She comes out of the civil rights background. She's straight out of Georgia.
Wow.
My father's Nigerian. When they met because my father was trying to teach my mother how to be a Pan-Africanist.
Wow.
Big.
So, you know, her thing was always to find out about who she was and try to get her identity right. Going back to Africa and understanding Afrocentricity. What do I think about mixed race relationships? It can't work for many reasons, because I think that at this point right now, it's a very critical point for black people. Black people need to nation build. Nation building is extremely important. If you realize everything surrounding us right now is Africa on the rise. So if you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't share the same culture as you, it's gonna be pretty hard to nation build.
Okay, so let me ask you, are you speaking from a perspective as a black man who's never dabbled, slapped and tickled, or had any...
No, I'm never
woman?
gonna say that I have not been with other race of women, not white, but Spanish, Puerto Rican, Dominican.
And you don't see a Spanish woman as white at all, you see them as somewhat different, they're not black.
It's an intermingling relationship. It's not black on black, so I have, but not with a white person.
Like Caucasian, okay.
More the Spanish, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, things like that. But never with a white person.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I'm coming from a civil rights house. Just like Tupac. Tupac's mother and my mother, they're Black Panthers. My mother's a Black Panther.
Wow.
So how can somebody understand
Amazing.
my mentality when I'm talking about Malik Shabazz, or I'm talking about like elevation or black theology. How can they possibly understand or understand where I'm coming from? It just won't work.
And from your perspective, do they need to understand or just accept?
If you're going to deal with a person from another culture, you have to understand their culture.
Right, okay.
And that's one of the things that's always bothered me. My brother's married to a white woman.
Okay.
And she really doesn't understand his culture. She just accepts it.
And that's not enough as far as you're concerned.
Of course not. He's miserable. I know that. Everybody I know that is in a mixed relationship, when we have those background table conversations, they're not 100% happy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the person doesn't grasp their culture. They don't really grasp what it is that makes them tick. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. Some people might make it work, but does it fulfill you? That part, I'm not sure. So
Okay.
Can I say one thing, Silva? You see what you just said there, bro? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's the situation that maybe someone just wants that person for wanting that person, and they don't really care about your culture?
Absolutely. That's what it's. I would say not entirely, but I would say probably about 90% of the reason why people mix up is because it's a fun fact. Yeah. It could be sexual, but it's also something that's. I can't say it's something that's real, but it's something that's either sexual, based out of sexual, or something that's sort of like a fad, or something that's sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Fetishism sometimes.
Obsession. It could be something social, but it's never something that fulfills the person. It's not, I want to get into this culture because I love it, or I want to understand it, or I want to emancipate myself in it. And it's both ways. If you think about it, can you really ever get into Caucasian culture to the max where you understand it, overstand it, and you actually fulfill that other person's?
The question is.
Okay, so let me hear from Lee's. I see Lee's about to step in and say a little something. So Lee, go with it.
I was about to say regarding Caucasians' history or culture. What is it? Because when we look at it right now, they take bits and pieces from everybody else's culture and then they fuse it into their own.
Ooh.
Right.
So when you think about it, so spirituality, what is that to them? And then what is it to us? Because we know we're spiritual beings, 100%. Yeah, we are frequency beings. So if you're dating someone on a lower level, on a frequency, how are you really gonna connect on that spiritual plane? You can connect on a sexual plane, 100%. Yeah, man likes breasts, man likes bum and legs. You understand what I'm saying? So,
well, that's real.
So in that sense, but if you're looking to grow and build yourself, and your children's meant to be greater than you, you have to connect with someone who is on that same frequency as yourself.
All right, big,
100%.
That's big what you just said. And this is what I'm saying is this, if you're black and the person's white, if they can't even connect to their ancestors and their forefathers and come to terms with what their forefathers and ancestors done and accept it, how are they going to connect with you?
They can't.
Because your people have been the victim. So how are they going to connect with the aggressor? You can't connect with the aggressor, which is your godfather and your granddad and your dad. How are you going to connect with the victim?
You can.
Let me ask you on that note, as you've such a profound point you've just made. Do you think this is the reason why so many Caucasian people or people are non-color, of non-color, always say love has no color? Is that the reason why you think? Because they haven't accepted what their oppressors have done, therefore love has no color and all this stuff, and if we cut ourselves with all one blood and all this kind of stuff?
I don't believe in that, because most of them people that say that, I don't see color. So you're colorblind then?
Well, that's what they say. I don't see
that. So what color are you? I'm not a color. I'm this and that and that. So what color is that piece of paper? That's why. It's rubbish. I don't believe in that. No, I don't see color. You do see color. You do see color.
100%.
You got eyes. You see color. Yeah. 100%. You're just denying it. You're trying to be nice about it.
100%.
Okay.
But
So
it is what it is.
So are you ready for an example? Okay. I just wanted to hear the men speak before I take the bra off and go in. Take the bra off and go in. Yeah. Okay, I'm not bunning the bra, I take it off. Yeah, verbally, people. I don't want to kill anybody up in here. I mean, just verbally, okay? All right, so let's get into it. Okay, first of all, let me say that I have nothing against organic connectivity. People that organically meet, whatever your race is, and you naturally connect via chemistry or whatever it is. But I have a thing against those who intentionally avoid and have said to me, okay, be it friends or relatives, that they will not date a black man or woman due to, in one breath, it would be because she experienced a lot of, ill treatment from the one or two people she's been with. Therefore, she's ripped them off. And I had to say to this individual, just be mindful, because you actually have a black prince who you're raising who is a son.
Of course.
So when we're making these type of statements, I don't think there's anything wrong in saying your personal preference, you were trying something new, you met this person organically, as I say. But when I've heard men, family and friends say, I don't date black girls, I'm really looking at the lack of metal in their back, number one. And the lack of knowledge and self-consciousness and self-love within self. I don't personally think a black person, male or female, can go around saying to themselves that I intentionally avoid the face of my ancestors, but I love myself as a black man or woman. I think you're a lost soul.
Either way, man or woman.
Man or woman, I think you're a lost soul.
Me too.
Let me tell you something. Personally, and this is where I spill some tea, some personal tea.
Mint tea?
Are you ready?
Mint tea?
No, man, this tea Cersei's bitters, man. Bitters. Are you ready? Okay. Wow. Firstly, I have had experience with a white man in my 20s. And let me say, I did it for the wrong reasons. I can hear people clutching their pearls right now. Oh my goodness, she did? Like, because people won't believe that, okay?
Why wouldn't they believe?
Okay, I am attracted to different cultures, races. However, I am only comfortable dating a black man. If I had to step sideways, it would be Asian. Because if you mix an Asian with black, you know what you're getting.
What?
Trinidad.
Okay, you're getting yeah, you know, from a mix of an Indian man, you know what you're getting. Black Indian, black Caribbean, black African, and it's still a form of blackness, and I'm all good with that, okay?
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to repeat. I am attracted, I've been attracted to white men, but I just avoid that because personally, I do have a chip on my shoulder. I am not comfortable with it. And I think if you are comfortable with your organic connectivity, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so if you do see me armsing up with a white man up the road, do scratch your head, because you never know. I'm never going to say never, but what I'm saying, and I'm saying that to cover myself, because life has people go through different things and make different decisions. Now let me go back a little bit. When I was in my 20s and I came across a white man, I did it for the wrong reasons. Truth be told, I think I was about 20, 21 or something like this. And I just wanted to know what it was like. So I did it for the wrong reason. And in the midst of the slap and tickle, to put it politely, when he asked me to bring my chocolate self to him, I really felt like I was back in the plantation field. I really did. Wow. I God's honest truth. I remember you're talking about 23 years ago.
So you were swirling.
Whatever you want to call it.
That's what we call it in New York.
Yeah. Okay, I was swirling then. I'm going to tell you honestly, when I was in the mist, I wanted it over quickly. I felt it was wrong for me because perhaps I was doing it for the wrong reasons. And secondly, yes, that statement of bringing my chocolate self over to him. So also, I feel like it has become an obsession, a fetish form, a black trophy. And in my opinion, you all had this from over 400 years ago in slavery. You'd been having this. And, you know, can I just share a real quick story about, you know, when I went to Jamaica, I went to visit the Rose Hall. And Rose Hall is a ex-plantation field. And as I was walking around this big house, the story was being told that Rose Hall was owned by an ex-white slave mistress master who would go around sleeping with all the black men for all the obvious reasons, because we're dope. And at the same time, she would kill them after she had sex with them. Now, one particular black slave gave her more than just Dickie. Yeah? You know what he done to her?
What?
He knew what she usually does.
Yeah.
Basically sleeps with them and then kills them. So he, submitted himself to sleeping with her.
He rubbed on some stone.
Yeah, and then he'd kill off her blood clot after that. He'd kill her off and she dead.
She got a taste of her own medicine.
Yeah, she had a taste of her own
Isn't
medicine.
it like that spider is a spider that does that?
Right?
Black Widow does that.
Okay.
Right, that's the
I've been called a Black Widow before, but now I know why, but I don't kill them. But, but seriously, so in my opinion, there has been an obsession with the black man. Is he more well endowed? Is he, there has been a potency and obsession for black men from white women. We can go into that a bit more as we progress through the show. Myself, personally, I did it for the wrong reasons, and I have never done it since.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
When it was being done,
Okay.
spiritually, was you connected them times?
No, well, I was actually, I was on the
You
journey.
connected
I've
to
been
your
connected from before the age of 14 spiritually. It's just been a progressive journey. But it felt, remember, this is between my 4 private walls, and I still felt uncomfortable. It was the first time, I think, number one, I say again, because it's for the wrong reasons. There was no, like, I want to be with you, be with him, from my perspective. It was just, okay, the opportunity came, and he was a nice, it wasn't like I just found a random white person. We became friends.
But did he lure you in by telling you all the trinkets he can get you and how you can make your life
No, he
change?
didn't. No, he was a big baller anyway. But that's at the time, I wasn't in that headspace.
Okay.
At the time, I
So
think
you was just curious.
I was
and he
just
was
curious.
Just on it.
That's right, because he weren't curious. He'd been seeing lots of black women, and I think personally, it's often very purely sexual. With for some reason, I seem to attract a lot of white men, especially.
You're a beautiful black woman.
Thank you very much for saying
You've
so.
done it.
Yeah, but especially when I used to have the straight bone black weave right down my back, 20-inch. That obviously I looked more.
The Shaka Khan.
Okay. Well, it wasn't as big. It was, yeah. Them ones there. But I've noticed when I had the straight bone weave back in the days, I attracted more males, white males, who wanted the fetish, the fetish black woman I've bedded, the black woman I've, And as I grew my natural hair, whether it was afro, whether it was shaved, whether it was now locks, I've noticed I attract the white men who like empowered black women. You'd be surprised, because once they think you're trying to look like white, it's a different caliber of a man. Even they know the consciousness. But what gets me is when I meet the white man who says a few things. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead, I want to hear it.
Kiss your teeth for me. Let me see what it's like. They asked me to kiss my teeth. They asked me if I do the yardie dancing.
See, that's the kind of corny shit.
That's the kind of corny shit.
It's mockery.
Yeah.
It's mockery.
Yeah, kiss your teeth for me. Cut your eyes for me, type thing. And then you get the ones that say, "Yes, sister queen." No.
Sorry to break in, but have you guys heard of this thing that's going on? I think race in the States is more ferocious. That's why I think you guys see it more in a watered down version.
Yeah.
We do, though.
Because
Yeah,
if this was in America, I was talking to my homegirls in the States, this would be a lot more like thunderous.
Yeah.
Like how nobody's even trying to even go down that route. There's a thing called slave play. You guys should Google it.
I know,
It would blow your mind. It's what's going on right now.
Okay.
Like Atlanta, all the big cities, Atlanta, New York, LA, there's slave play going on. And what I mean by that is a lot of white dudes are targeting black women specifically right now.
Yeah.
And they into this role play of like the master and the slave.
Oh, shit.
There's a lot of that going on.
Oh, wow.
So if you Google that stuff, a lot of this stuff will come out and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what I mean is like, these things never work out in the end. It's not about race, because race is a very little thing. Color and all this stuff is a very petty thing. We have bigger things to worry about.
The mindset.
You know what I mean? Exactly. If you're a
mindset.
conscious person, you'll know that color is a little thing compared to what the bigger picture is. But my point is, if you're going to be with somebody, especially white and black people, ultimately, it doesn't seem as if it's something that fits.
Right.
When you start procreating and you start having kids, because you got to understand the white race is burning out.
That's right.
And I'm talking about the wider scope of things.
Yeah, so they're not the natural men, yeah.
Exactly. So you have a white person with a black woman, they have a mixed race kid. What is the mixed race kid going to ultimately end up with? With a white person. So it just feels like the black race is something that's going strong, but the white race is burning out. And this is not a racist thing. I'm not a racist person.
Yeah.
I'm way more,
Liberal.
than that. And
Yeah.
I'm way more awakened than that.
Yeah.
Only thing I'm saying is that in the end, it doesn't seem like a fit that works in this present timeline.
I love that. But what I want to say to you now,
Okay.
I want to go back.
All right.
Because I know what it feels like for a black man to be sleeping with a white woman.
Okay.
Because
Is it a conquer? Because back in the day, you couldn't touch white women. Back in the day, you couldn't touch white women. So is it a case of I conquered slave master's wife?
No, not for me. It ain't. 'Cause
Okay.
I was just a gallus. I didn't care about. Right. It wasn't.
It's
about,
just the body
it
count.
It was. I like a certain shape, and that's what I'm going for. I don't care.
Because back in the day, don't talk to me about shape, because they flat.
No. But I didn't.
Me and you grow the same time.
Listen. Lee, let's get
Yo,
something straight.
listen.
Let's get something straight.
What you saying is right.
Yeah.
Because you notice in the
All
2000s,
of my girls, if you go through my catalogue, all of my girls are thick.
Catalogue.
All right, where's your phone? Let me see it.
No. Ask anybody about Drumz, they'll tell you that Drumz don't go for skinny girls. He don't like skinny girls.
That's
All
hilarious.
of my girls was hench
Hench, you
from
know.
back in the days. Everybody knows that drummer don't look at that
So
set.
you like them thicker than
I
a
ship
sugar?
that set. I ship them off.
Oh
thick as
my
an oak
This
tree.
is my
God.
island. Everything is hench. Yeah, so I can't remember my original point.
You
What was
you were saying something about
Yeah,
your reasons.
yeah.
Okay.
Now this is what I want to ask you now. Yeah.
Okay.
I know what it feels like as a black man to be sleeping with a white girl. Yeah?
Okay.
Because, when you talk to them, they're always talking about black men are more sexier, they're more better in bed, they're more this and they're more that. Yeah. So that's the stereotype.
Definitely.
And
just a
when you're
stereotype,
doing what
ain't
you're
that
doing,
true?
you're actually feeding into that, even though you don't know you're doing that.
Is it massaging the ego?
It is for certain people.
Okay.
Now, what I want to ask you now,
Ask
is
me.
how did you feel
Right.
as a black woman sleeping with a white male? What was going through you?
To be honest, let's go back to morality, okay? Let's keep it real authentic in this moment. No jokes, as I try not to laugh. Okay. I feel for me to do something that isn't soulful, that isn't meaningful with anybody, is obviously a state of mind where you, in that moment, you're not valuing self. That's just personal. I mean, some people like casual, some people are comfortable with casual. For me to do it outside of the fact that it wasn't a committed relationship, naturally in that moment I couldn't have been in the right state of mind.
Yeah.
That covers whatever color you are, personally. Yeah, because I don't do well with casuality because I know how it makes me feel in the morning. Okay. So the fact that I did it knowing I didn't have any real intentions tells me, plus the fact that it wouldn't have been something that I would have admitted to. Okay, you not have seen us walking down the road in Sainsbury's holding hands. That tells me that I definitely was just self-satisfying. It had nothing to do with anything profound or meaningful. It was just an experiment, the way that they experiment with us.
Of course.
I could blame it on age, but no, because I was fully in tune with what I was doing.
I had an itch, he needed a scratch.
I know, but it never been scratched, no itch though. The only thing he scratched was my consciousness, and I wanted to leave.
Oh, wow.
About
It's
bring
that
it.
bad, huh?
Well, no, because I locked off the minute. Do you know what it is? Sometimes you want something. Let's say you want chicken and chips, and you get to the shop and you're like, "Nah, I fancy a kebab." It's one of those ones. I was like, now that I'm in it, am I going to be seen as a tease by this locking off straight away? So I played the game called "Let's see how quick you can come, Pappy. Let's just see," and it was over real quick.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm being real.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Do you ever know them ones? Let's see, you're wonderful, you're great. Come on, but you can. Yes, it's one of those ones. It really was. We got lift up the eyebrow for me.
Let's get on to Lee now. Let's get on to Lee now.
He's shocked.
Let's
He's
get on
shocked by
to
me.
Lee.
Yeah, I'm spilling all my
Let's
tea
get on to
tonight.
Lee. Have you had any experiences with white ladies, and what has it been like? If you have.
The question is no. Yeah.
The answer is no.
Never. No pork.
I've never had pork.
Never.
Now, the reason being, right, when I would say early 90s, 91.
No, stop. Are you saying you've never indulged in pork?
I have never slept with.
Give us a touch, mate.
And I believe it. I've known this guy forever.
This is a pure black man right here.
I was listening to 91, yeah, Malcolm X.
Ooh.
Right? So when you start listening to these guys there, because me and you was run up and down back in the day back then,
100.
right? And you're hearing like Malcolm X and they're talking about what they was doing before they became Nation of Islam, before they became Muslim, robbing, stealing, going to prison, white girls, everything else. It's a general pattern, of for some reason of us black men getting lost. You see what I mean? And then so I thought, you know what? Let me come away from that. Let me start listening. Why am I gonna do everything he does, go to prison, then come back and then become righteous? Yeah. So let me look at my surroundings, and then where I'm living, because I'm living in Brixton. Yeah. There was a few white families around, but there weren't many. Like like we played ball and stuff like that, and you see a few white girls say hi, hello, whatnot. But I was never one to pursue them. You know what I mean? I think later on when we start going clubbing and raving, you start seeing a few more, bit of breast hair and there, a few pretty ones and that. But for me, I can see other races and say, they're very pretty, very attractive. But I felt for myself, what is the point?
So let me ask you a question.
I truthfully felt that I would never be accepted, by their family anyway. And through my work experience,
some white people's family, not all.
I'm gonna say, one or two might like you, but the whole family is like, when you turn around, you little black so and so and X, Y, and Z, And I know my temperament at that time. Someone call me a black so and so, I'm cracking them right in the jaw. So why put myself in a predicament where I don't need to be in?
So let me ask you a quick question before we head to a break. Do you feel that by, as it is said, okay, I'm going to be generic here, by limiting ourselves to one particular race, that we are limiting opportunity of love and fruitful relationships?
I've got a question for you.
No. They already asked you a question. You can't answer a question with a question, my brother.
All right, hold on.
All right.
We are the only race right now is dating like 50% outside our race.
Okay.
So everybody else,
those are facts.
So everybody else is
Those are facts.
Everybody else can date their own, and it's not a problem.
Okay.
But why now, so-called black love is a problem? You see what I mean?
So I don't think it's a problem.
Hold on.
Think it's a problem.
Then society would rather you mix and water down.
That's right.
Yeah.
That we know.
That's right.
Because they're more comfortable with it.
That's right.
And I got
See
the
what I mean?
answer for exactly that.
So there is a problem. So going back to what we've gone through, we can talk about slavery and everything else. We have to rebuild ourselves, and get retuned into loving ourselves. Because what happens is we want to be, we want everybody to show us love. Why can't we show each other love? So it starts from within. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If I happen to meet a white woman tomorrow, from wherever she's from, Switzerland or whatever, and we generally kind of bonded and
organically,
organically, like you're saying, and something happened, I might be very surprised. However, it's a natural thing.
You'd have to be open to receiving that in the first place, but to develop in the first place. People say that you can't choose who you love, but I've been telling people you can. You can't choose who you naturally chemically connect to, but you can choose who you spend time with to love in the first place.
Well, this is what I'm saying. There's times, come on, let's be real. We go to work, we speak to people every day. There are times we meet people and we know their energy's off. Right. So if we're at work and we know their energy's off, we're not trying to be their friend because we just know we're not compatible. So you just be respectful, hi, hello, X, Y, Z. Yeah?
Okay.
So if I met someone from a different race and there was a natural general connection, oh, hi, how you doing? And then over a period of time, it grows into something, then so be it.
Okay.
All right, people, we're going to shut down for adverts and we'll be right back.
Yeah, brother, I mean, what you're saying is exactly what...
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. So, Silva. What do you think of the discussion so far?
Well, I think it's authentic, and I think that we're just warming up.
All right.
I literally think that we're just warming up. I think that I've spoke to different people who's been in interracial relationships, and I've listened to vlogs and all different things over the years. I still stand by the fact that if something's organic, I will not fire shots. Verbally, of course, but I have a real problem with people that intentionally go out their way to... I have relatives and friends that I've never seen of a black woman or man. And I truly am happy if they're happy, but I also think again, I say you're a lost soul. I don't see how you can live your whole life dating outside of your race if you really love yourself. But also, I've had a friend who had to leave her family home because her parents did not accept her as a black man, and I've only ever known her to date black men. So it's a two-way thing. I mean, how have I known these two particular friends as white women that I've never seen of a white man? That goes both ways. I personally think, once again, some people genuinely just love who they love, and you know, they deal with the culture differences in the midst of it and work it through. But I must say, there is still an unspoken, not so often spoken, again, fetish of white women that just love a black man, and it's like wearing a Gucci scarf, to them. And then, oh, I want to have his baby. But then here's the thing: I've seen your babies in the street, and I've seen the state of their hair. I'm keeping it real. If you are going to mix, take on everything that comes with it. Don't just have a mixed race child. There's a few points I want to make. Don't just mix with a black and white interracial and talk about we just love each other. Because your love, you know, when it falls on the child, it's a different thing. If me and a man as adults are together, it's one thing. But once you bring children in the mix, and those children go to school and whatever it is they've got to deal with, you know, number one, again, the hair care. I've seen so many children and their hair is a mess. Take them to the salon, get it braided, take it to your sister-in-laws or whatever, get their hair braided, take care of their hair. Secondly, I always seem to come across mixed race adults who has a sense of lost or confusion or lost of soulfulness within them. I don't know what it is.
That's being mixed race though, isn't it?
Okay. I've always had that kind of, there's a missingness, not with every one of them, but 99 point. Thirdly, I would say, what did I want to say on the point? Thirdly, I would say, I don't like the fact that people mix, call it love, but yet when you have children, you don't make it your priority to educate those mixed race children about their black culture or their race or whatever it is.
Now you're getting into the meat and potatoes of what the truth is.
Yeah, I'm not going to come to you. That bugs me. That it does bug me, because you see the parents talking about, but we love each other, or you know, she was buff or he was just no. But once the children gets into it, and you decide that love or that liking or that lust takes you to bringing forth children, what about educating them on their race and their culture? Don't let Dickie get to your head, or punny, whichever way it go. It's deeper than that.
But can I just interject quickly, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'll let someone else speak.
Yeah.
But what I see from the black male point of view, yeah, is a lot of the black males, when they get with white women, they start changing up.
In what way?
Like, if you know a black man, he's hardcore, yeah? And he was hardcore all of his life, and he's been with black women.
Right.
When he gets with a white woman now, he starts changing up his...
Cockney.
Yeah, not even Cockney, he just starts changing up his whole vibe about him.
Is that a positive thing though? Because remember, change
It's
can be
not
positive or negative.
No, it's not positive.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying it's not positive is because when you start changing for this woman now, yeah,
Right.
you're changing into who she wants you to be. So in actual fact, she's turning you into a white dude, but you just in black skin.
So coconut.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
then you don't even know yourself after a while.
That's right.
Look at Frank Bruno. Look at
Oh
Nigel
my
Bain.
gosh.
Look at
Frank
Eubanks.
Bruno.
When them mixed race
Unbelievable.
kids come in the picture, you don't mean nothing no more. You
Dudes
gotta
like
go
that, you
get
know
the
what we
back
call
seat.
him? He's a Negro peeing.
Yeah, you got.
Ooh.
That's what he is.
Please say
And it's
that.
fun. I'll build on what you said, and that's you're going into something that is the truth. Every mixed relationship, if you want to judge if that person really loves that person, look at the children, like what you was talking about. How come everything is all good, but your kids have no self-knowledge or any nature of reality?
It's crazy.
Of anything concerning their culture at all.
At all.
At all. You know what? You know why that is? Because they don't give a damn about your culture.
That's right.
They really don't.
But
and I can speak about my brother too, because he got a white girl.
But isn't
right?
it down to the person? Let me just jump. Is it down to the person who's black, whether the woman or the man, in that interracial
But he's
relationship?
changed himself.
If you're going to be with somebody,
I've met black men that hasn't changed themselves, but they just not conscious themselves to be able to teach on.
Because the person you're with is not conscious enough to raise you up either. If you're with the person and you're not growing, or with that other person you ain't growing, what the hell are y'all doing together?
Yeah.
And most of these relationships, they never grow spiritually or culturally. Look at all of them. Look at Kanye, done. Look at my brother, done. All the people that together mixed race, they all done.
He's the realest thing. But can I just say though, I do think it's a bit bizarre that the Kardashians only seem to like black men.
It's all by design.
It's crazy.
It's all by design. It's a systematic thing to make their show look good, to make their presentation look good.
They know
They're
what's
all
hot.
good. It's all the products. They're all the products.
They know what's hot, innit?
They know what's hot. Exactly. It's all the products.
They could have a billionaire white
Every
man.
single one of them seem to have black basketball player after another after another. I don't understand.
Look at what they're naming their kids.
The reason why that is, is because
it's a product. It's all a product.
They are looking at us as products. 100%.
I don't know about here, but I can tell you systematically in the
no.
United States, every mixed relationship is a systematic product thing that is constructed just for that reason.
Honestly,
there's no solid thing behind it. There's nothing that's real behind it at all. I'm not racist. Again, I'm just
not
stating
racist either,
facts.
genuinely. But
And I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
You could be with them, that's good, but you don't have to build with them. You don't have to create with them. You don't have to procreate with them. You don't have to do any of that because you're gonna lose yourself.
Yeah. And your kids are gonna grow up not
they're the ones that they get it the worst.
They
They get it the worst.
When a lot of black men, when they get with white women, you're not the rock no more, bruv. You are not the rock, because if she wants, she can just say, oh, do you know what? If you're not gonna do that, then I'm gonna go call the police. I'm gonna tell them that you sexually harassed me, and you're knee buckling now, bruv.
Hell yeah!
Because you're scared of the police. And the police are going to come around and say, oh, then...
Well, the guys that I know personally, they're
ago,
not scared of no police, that's for sure.
2 weeks ago, a white lady
That's
called
for sure. They will headbutt the
called a
police
cop
and
on
go,
a
"No
black
way."
family
Try it
barbecuing
out.
outside of their house.
Hello. Can we have some order here? Yeah? All four people can't be talking at the same time.
Okay.
Let's
go on.
No, you was going to speak. All three of you speaking at the same time.
Okay.
And I can't really hear.
It's a debate.
Okay.
In America, they're calling cops on black people for the damnedest things.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
you can lose your
systematic
life.
thing that is going, and they trying to wipe us out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but again, I can't speak of here, but check I'm sure all of y'all got families in the States.
Yeah.
They're systematically wiping us out. 5 black people get shot every day by police. Every day.
It's crazy.
Every day.
Wow, it's crazy.
And why did they make that movie Get Out? Because they try and tell you to get out. It's not going to
That
work.
movie was scary,
This way, it's a systematic plan.
When he went to the sunken where
Where you think most people are in the United States? Where do you think most black people are in the United States?
In a sunken place?
They are in a sunken place. It's a systematic plan. That's where they are.
But that's basically it. And then they make movies from us, about us, should I say?
Okay.
Being zombies, we're the Walking Dead. Because how can we be the spiritual?
What you think they're trying to tell you
on the planet?
Speak the knowledge.
And then you're walking, but you got no spirit.
Wow.
Yeah? So your body's here, but your mindset's not here.
Yeah.
That's why we
That's
can't
a real
rebuild. That's why we can't rebuild, and we find it difficult to trust one another.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? But we're willing to trust everybody else. What doesn't look like us? We're willing to build everyone else's community. You see what I'm saying? Last 3,000 years, they've been calling us black gold. Why is that? Because we've been pumping everyone's money into everyone's community, their economics. So in America, going back to America, they're talking about Christmas. I was seeing it last year. They said the black community spent $4 billion over that short period of time. You see what I mean? So how can for 1 month you spent $4 billion? You see how much power we have by spending, but yet we don't have our own economic structure. We tried it before after slavery, Black Wall Street. Yeah. I know a bit about that. You see what I'm saying? They burned it down. And we had people, own businesses, wealthy, having their own jets, had their own bus systems. We had our own town. You see what I mean? And they burned it down in the space of 24 hours? Well, they said one black man raped a white woman in a lift. Wow. Is that your justice to go in and to burn things down? Yeah. So we got to recognize it. You see what I mean? The whole setup.
So let me ask you guys. Let's for a moment talk about some of the stereotypes. Okay, so what would you say are some of the stereotypes about interracial relationships, or about maybe white people, full stop? The differences with black people and white people.
Oh, the dick. You know, straight up.
Okay,
I mean,
go on,
you know,
tell
most of
us,
my
tell
white
us,
friends
tell
as
us.
girls, they'll tell you straight up, I'm in it to get cut. That's it. You know what I mean? They want the dick and you don't want some cutty. That's it. Y'all niggas ain't trying to get to me. I'll go get some other nigga to get to me. It ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Especially down south. Niggas don't give a shit about that. They tell you to your face, look, I like niggas because niggas got big dicks and you ain't trying to give it to me. I'll find somebody to give it to me. Point blank, period.
So it's still a type of black men being
Without
more
a doubt.
well endowed.
Without a doubt. It
Interestingly,
ain't intelligence.
Well, okay, you know what? Well, I mean, we've all watched a couple of Blueies, and it's not
It's
true.
not.
And it's not true. Personally, that's a whack
It should
stereotype.
be, but it's not.
It's a whack stereotype.
But it's the number
Because
one thing that they
if it
want.
wasn't the fact that I love black men, we would have gone, because that ain't true.
You know, again, there's nothing wrong with if you find somebody organic to feel.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is procreating and building with them.
Okay, so give me another stereotype.
That's what
Okay.
that's what a lot of white women say.
Right.
They say, yeah.
What a wedding
I'll sleep
gown.
with them, I'll fuck them, I'll do what I'm got to do, but I'm not gonna have no kids for them.
Yep.
That's what's been pumped into their head.
Without a doubt.
Look at Asian people. Asian people will sneak and do a thing with you, you know.
Oh yeah,
But there ain't gonna be no picnic
Let them
making,
take
bruv.
you home. They can't do that.
I have a
Because of their culture as well.
We know that. We know that a lot of Asians, unless you're truly westernized, mostly have to stick within their own. Which is the reason why, whether you're Jew, Asian, or even some Africans, I don't think there's anything wrong with them wanting to stay within their own bloodline. The same way, you know.
I don't either.
But we're talking this way, and some people may feel like, oh, they're being racist. No, we're no different to them, really. However, let's stick on stereotypes just for a small while. Yes, we've heard that number one would be, you know, white women saying that black men are more well endowed or better in bed. But let's spin it round. What about the majority of black men who date white women who speak on the fact that black girls have an attitude and it's easier to control the Caucasian girl? What's your thoughts?
All right, now
I'm
gonna interject.
Is that just a stereotype? Let me hear from all of you.
I'm gonna interject.
Is it easier to
can't
control
say.
the white
I don't
woman
know.
to the
I'm
black?
gonna-
Go on,
I'm
speak
gonna
on it.
interject
Let's
on
go
that.
on, go for it.
Black women are more aggressive.
Yeah.
You think so?
Right? Yeah, I'm telling you they are.
Because
Yeah.
I've seen certain white women.
No,
I think they're
but
just as much.
they probably are. But what I'm trying to say, for what I've seen, yeah,
Okay.
they're more aggressive, yeah, more challenging and all
Mm-hmm.
that, yeah. But I don't think that's a bad thing, yeah. I
Okay.
don't think that's a bad thing, yeah. But there's a time and a place.
Of
Right.
course, like
Yeah?
everything else. Of
And
course.
if you don't know the time and the place, that's going to be 24/7s in a man's ears. He don't want to hear that.
Right.
So he will go down the road to Beatrice, who just wants to watch EastEnders and eat shepherd's pie and drink tea.
But so
You
okay,
understand what I'm saying,
and
brother?
is it
Yeah,
a case?
100%,
And
you're
is
right,
it
yeah.
okay? So carrying on that, is it a case where because white women are more tameable and apparently look after their men, which is the black man,
Yeah, but they're more dangerous.
Better. Oh, no, hang on, wait. We're gonna go there. They're crazy as hell. We're gonna
more
go there. We're
dangerous.
gonna go there. We're gonna go there. Then I'm hearing throughout the years that white people, be it men or women, are just more sexual, explicit, more willing to explore.
Yeah, they are.
I know that
I think they are.
black people are catching up.
I think they are because white sex and black sex is two different sex.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Black man will just ride out your clout and drink a Guinness and butter spliff and go in again. White man will go up on the chandelier and jump up and brock his
Hang on a minute.
and take their Mandy and Molly.
Okay.
Headbutt the wall.
Okay, so let me
Nosebleeding.
give you some examples of what I've come across as stereotype. Okay, so you got white people tend to be more in the bondage. Don't say
Yeah.
nothing. Listen, more in the bondage sex, more into the oral and anal sex, more into the SMM sex. Now, when I mean SMN, I'm talking about
Sadomastic.
the practice of taking or causing abuse during sex.
Yeah.
The whipping, the tying, the practice of pain as a sexual stimulant. Then you got the blood and vaginal abuse. Do you know about that? Where they start
That's
cutting it.
snuff movies.
No, snuff is different. Snuff when they kill your bumper clot while you're having sex. There's no coming up from that. And we know
Big
about
thing, though.
we know about that. We got to talk after the
Big
show.
thing in LA.
Yeah.
Snuff.
And
They
then,
pay a lot of money for that stuff.
right, and then you've got the blood play, which they talk about, is an act of using blood in sexual or fetish situations. Now, or maybe more fetishes like, you know, the hot candle wax and the slave and master requests. And then you got the vaginal torture, which more white people than blacks seem to be into, allegedly, which is a stereotype, which is, you know, vaginal abuse, putting cactuses up her vagina and broken glass and crazy shit like that. You're looking at me like...
That's sick.
I'm trying to tell you. Hang on. I'm good.
That comes under slavery, all that shit.
Hang on. We're still on stereotypes. And it appears white folk more than black folk seem to indulge far more in the sexual exchange of animals. Okay,
bestiality.
and even dead people.
Bestiality and
yeah, dead
They
people.
got movies for all the stuff you're talking about. There are movies for this stuff.
All sorts of madness that, you know, the media is the meat right.
Yeah.
Now, we're not saying that black people doesn't do their thing, but it seems to be more widely done and openly accepted by it appears Caucasian people. So is it just a case where the media is just highlighting white people more than black people?
No, I think that is their thing.
It really is. I think it even goes
their
further, more sinister than you actually think. Because I had a friend of mine that does a lot of this porn and stuff like that, and some of the things that he was talking about goes a little bit deeper than what we're talking about right now. I don't know if it's something that I want to.
Yeah, no, go in, and we want to hear all about it.
As far as that whole thing with the blood and stuff, I think it's not really actually a sexual thing.
It's demonic as hell.
Now you're getting more into what I'm talking about, because you got to understand, some of these people that create movies like this,
right?
They got pacts.
Okay. With the man down there. Yeah.
Well,
go into it, brother. Go all the way in. Let's hear it.
With
brotherhood.
But more with interdimensionals. Okay. And again, you know, I think we had a conversation about when I was in the military about something that happened to me.
You did speak, yeah.
And that's a very freaky thing. That's a real thing.
Yeah, I believe you.
Okay, that ain't no joke. Something I'm putting up right now.
No,
that's something
I believe
for real.
you.
Okay.
But share some insight on what you're talking about, the pacts
I had
and the demonic. Please share some. I'd love to hear
This
it.
friend of mine had a pact a couple of years ago. Okay. About 10 years ago, he had a pact with a friend of his introduced him to somebody in the Rockefeller family. And this person told him, and he said, if you want to get high in what you're trying to do, I can help you do a couple of things. But you're going to have to do a couple of things for us. That's right. Okay? So he was wondering who us was, because he was talking to him. Okay. So he brought him to this place in California, right? A lot of presidents go there. A lot of people go there. I forget the name of the place.
That place.
With the big owl and stuff, where they're out there doing the rituals.
That's called
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, yeah.
He went to Bohemian Grove. When you go to Bohemian Grove, you know, do you know what
big owl?
Okay, basically they're
the president and everybody.
They're invoking extraterrestrials. Okay.
Speak on
especially negative extraterrestrials. If you make a pact with them, you can get anything you want.
Okay.
Anything that you want to happen actually manifests as you speak it. You speak it, believe it, and you receive it, but in a negative way.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So a lot of that is blood sacrifices. It's not a sexual. It has nothing. Actually, has nothing to do with sex. Actually, church has nothing to do with religion either.
Okay.
So these are all pacts that they have with interdimensionals. So that's what a lot of these snuff films and things are. Yeah. They invoke blood because you gotta sacrifice, and that's why they like children in these Bohemian Groves. Because kids, when they're at that pure stage, there's that pure.
That's right.
There's this lush.
That's right.
This lush that they feed off this lush of children. You know, and fear. When you have fear, for those that have fear, I have none because I understand what fear is. It's a bunch of bullshit. But that fear, when it comes in, it's lush for these beings. And these beings are everywhere. I you know, they're gonna be idiots that think, oh my God, what is he saying? These things don't exist. Well, you know, to the level that you are exposed to, they don't exist. But if you understand and your consciousness is open, you will understand that we're not alone in this dimension. There are far beings that are 500,000-600,000 light years more advanced than we are. You know, that don't even deal with technology, just deal with consciousness and make everything manifest. So that's what a lot of these people, especially Hollywood, they get a lot of their intel from these dimensional beings. I mean, even our technology. I mean, there's APV that we use in the military alien technology, like some of like the jets and things that we use in the U.S. They just recoil like technology from aliens that being backtracked and
But you can really see that in the last 50 years anyway, or 70 years,
right?
Because from where we were from where we are from the 1920s,
right?
1930s. Look how the car industry has
evolved.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
I mean, now you got cars driving themselves. And what do you think? It was humans that made that? No, it was not. But my point is that a lot of these sexual things, and it goes into a lot. You got to understand that these beings are more compatible with Caucasians.
Wow.
First of all. So that's why a lot of these things, like when you talk about slavery, people say white people created slavery. White people are not that advanced to create something that negative and that huge. It's not. We are being enslaved on Earth. So all they're doing is just reconstructing whatever it is that's being done in the higher spiritual realm and putting it in, in basic things that you can see. So it's deeper. Like slavery is deeper. It's not created by white people. This is alien technology. This is negative beings that have created this because they have a higher frequency with white people. These things that they're putting out.
Melanin.
Wow.
Exactly. Melanin is the kind of thing that probably keeps us far away from us.
Right.
I mean, like the Germans, for example. They were one of the first people on Earth to actually experience aliens.
Really?
The Germans have been on the moon for over 500 years.
You see what you just said there? You see what you
That's
just said?
that's a fact.
You see what he said? You see why it makes sense? Because they said that Hitler was being controlled by the Estonian Federation.
Who do you think those people are?
Aliens with the blonde hair and
exactly.
tall blue eyes.
Yep.
That's what they said.
The tall whites. That's what they talk about.
Them aliens, he wanted to kill everybody that didn't look like them aliens.
Exactly.
Because they mashed up his head.
It's like they were saying the Americans killed Hitler. They didn't kill shit. Hitler lived on until probably was 80 something or 90 something. You know what I mean?
Because there was a theory about him going undercover, like escaping or.
He didn't even need to do all that. It's just that's what I'm saying.
Him and his wife.
Technology is so advanced that you can't touch that
himself.
stuff.
They claimed that him and his wife killed himself, but then there was a theory, a conspiracy saying, did he really do that?
Exactly. Like the city of London is a different country from England. DC is a different country from the United States, and the Vatican is a different country from Italy. Look at the city of London. They have gargoyles and all these things all over the place. Why do you think that the reptilian features are so prominent?
Because there's a race. There's a living being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when people keep saying things like like the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds and stuff like that, they control the earth. They do control the earth because they're syndicates to these beings. So things like when you say like why these people, like why do they invoke blood and all these things so deeply in their films? Yeah, it's just ritual sacrifices.
I was saying that they
to these beings.
in regards to the sexual exchange seems to be a lot more profound and pretty much demonic from the white to the black. I'm not saying that black people are not doing things, but it's more heard of from white people, be it sleeping with animals,
and it's more dark.
It's more dark by far.
But don't you think that comes down to like culture and certain things? Like
I don't think it's culture.
Not culture, but I'm saying
sex too far.
Black people are more close.
Yeah.
And white people are more open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Me and you could be in a rave and it'd be New Year's, and the thing goes off. Happy New Year. Me and you hug each other and say, "Yeah, brother." Them start kissing up and doing all gyrating on each other. We're not open to that.
Can I say? Do you know it's bizarre that within
man.
Let me just say, within my time, I've actually had at least 6 men that slid in my DMs, and asked me. This is okay. Let me just say this. Okay, at least 4 or 5 of them asked me to be their mistress. They want me to trample on them, and it's only been white men. And one of them has said, "Listen, I don't think you'd like me, but I just want to know if you will sell your knickers so I could just smell them." Because I do raise the eyebrow. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying black men don't feel this way. But I'm saying it's only been white men that's been bold enough to go in my inbox. So they got, look, one would say, why am I attracting those people? Listen, I'm minding my own business.
Of course.
They've come across me and they probably think they've got nothing to lose. When you've got nothing to lose...
You probably have a frequency, your energy that attracts these kind of things.
Oh!
So you have to understand
so I need
why
to explore. So I need to explore, do I?
Well, you know, I mean, it's not
But also,
necessarily something you have to explore. It's just some of your energy.
Whatever my energy is definitely not going that way.
How do you, well, it's attracting these kind of things you're talking about it right now.
Well,
So
do you know what it is?
Got to be something you're.
Do you know something? When they talk about the power of your own energy and what you put into the universe, I only subscribe to a percentage of that. And let me tell you why. And I've said this the other day to a young woman I was talking to. There are so many people that has experienced things that they did not bring on in their life, minding their own business, whether you've been killed, whether you've been raped. I do think we have to take a level of responsibility of what we attract. But if I'm minding my own business, haven't contacted nobody, and I get this random DM, I'm not going to take responsibility that I've attracted a nutter by minding my own business. I'm very sorry, no.
No, but you can't. It's not even. We can't say that with you because for the fact of if you look at girls' DMs and guys' DMs, the guys are sending out the messages, you know. The girls are sitting down there getting hundreds of thousands of messages.
All day long.
Dick pictures, all different types.
All day long. And I'm not going to say, I'm glad you said that.
All different
There's
colours.
no way I'm going to be like, oh, I'm putting in a frequency. Let me attract a man who wants to buy my knickers.
You might not have put it in this lifetime. You got to understand the reincarnation.
No, that's if.
You could have put it in.
But
in
my
different
brother, that's if I choose to subscribe to that thought. Remember,
you don't have a choice.
Okay.
You act as if you have a choice.
Well, my opinion is this. Remember, belief is not knowing. Okay? So having an opinion until we can prove the fact is two different things. So do I believe that's a slightly different? I don't want to go drift off too much in regards to reincarnation.
We've been drifting off a little bit.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
You know
we
what? We come back
haven't.
round. Don't worry, we come full circle.
We haven't. Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, but I'm just saying, everything we spoke about tonight has been points relating to interracial. Right. There's been no drifting, whether it's been on the sexuality, how we live, how we maintain our hair, the problems, the pluses. It's all been in regards to interracial. So maybe you've drifted somewhere, my brother, by yourself. Yeah, and you're just a weird cop. Good morning, Lee. Yeah, you drift somewhere else by yourself. Everyone else is kind of giving examples, and Chi here has gone very deep.
I like it.
Yeah, he is the tree, and he's branched off and brought us back to the root. So there's no one drifted here. And even yourself too.
But I want to ask Lee a question now. Yeah?
Go.
For a black man, yeah, I'm gonna say pure black man, yeah, because he ain't mixed like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's very rare. Yeah, so I gotta give you a round of applause for that. Yeah?
He's mixed, Lee hasn't.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, in this day, how me and him growing up together, me and him growing up together, you know, Lee. Yeah. So what he sees is what I see, yeah? Maybe he was more tuned on to the Malcolm X and these things, but we was all running around together doing the same thing. So for him to say that, I got to take my hat off and salute him.
That is big.
That's big. So how do you feel now, looking at black brothers and black sisters that you know that say that they prefer white people and they want to have kids? How do you feel towards that?
Well, you know what? I've never really had a conversation of what they preferred. It's just naturally evolved and it's happened. So I just see them with a white woman and having children and raising their families. And I'm not one to, once you're setting up your own home, I'm not one to ask you questions about why did you do this.
But how do you feel though?
If I be honest, some of so-called friends, what I've grown with, to me, I feel that they are selling themselves short. Yeah, because where I know where we've grown and how they come, and then where they're submissive. Because I realised earlier on what you were saying with brothers, and they go with different race of people, right? They go with a different race. They do kind of soften. Yeah, they don't soften with their own sisters. They want to stay that rugged and strong.
Yes.
And so for me, I just don't really get it. You see what I mean? Because then you can't say you're 100, you're pro-black and everything else, because your actions is demonstrating you're not.
Okay, let me jump. Can I ask you a question? You hit something quite prominent there. My cousin asked me years ago, and I'm going to bring this up, it's so relevant now. She says, Silva, when you do these shows, I want you to ask one question. Because I told her I wouldn't want to do stuff like this in the future. Now we're doing it. She said, how comes there's so many either rusters or so-called conscious black men that seem to only date white? So you've just touched it a little bit. Let's go into that, guys, please.
Okay.
Let you, one of you two, and I'll come.
If someone's claiming to be conscious or even Rasta, can we honestly say just because they dated out their race that they're not conscious?
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's,
what are
it's
you
not,
saying?
it's
Not
not
at all
about. It's not. Of course, they could still be conscious.
Okay.
Of course. Again, I think a lot of people that might listen to this might get things twisted.
Okay.
It's not about a person's mind. If you're conscious,
Mm-hmm.
you're conscious.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide to start dating somebody outside of your race, it doesn't simply mean that you're not conscious. It just means that you don't really understand yourself or have love for yourself enough
to stay with your own.
To stay with your own.
I don't know if I can agree to that.
I really think so. Like,
Round
look
of
at the
applause.
brother Lee.
Round of applause.
You truly love yourself. Obviously.
To the
you
high,
love your
yeah, okay,
culture. You love your. You can tell that this is an Afrocentric person. I don't know this guy, but I can tell he's an Afrocentric person, without a doubt. And there are just some people that are not gonna break their integrity for nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those kind of people, and I respect other people that my integrity is my integrity.
So the fact that you've dated non-black women, what does that say about you? Then are we gonna put it down to when you were young, like myself? What do you say about that then?
There was a point in my life where I didn't want to accept the powers that I had.
Okay.
Accept the ability that I could have.
Okay.
I had integrity, but I just never wanted to accept the power that I had. And when I came into accepting that power within my own self, I just stayed true to who I was. That's all I had to do was just stay true to who I was.
Right.
Big.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I see. I emphasize with that a lot. Definitely.
But it certainly doesn't mean that they're not conscious.
I agree.
Can I interject now?
Please go for it.
All
Go
right.
for it.
I've got some mates that say white girls are my favourite. I don't even like black girls no more. Yeah, I don't do no more rice and peas. Strictly bangers and mash. Yeah, I'm saying all right, mate.
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I'm saying all right, mate. But I've got some brothers, yeah, and these brothers are Nigerian, yeah, and they got white women as their wife and got kids and all that, yeah. And one day, me and them's in the rave now. We're in the rave now, yeah. And one of my brothers come up to me and says, "You like white girls, isn't it?" I said, "I like all girls, man, but I prefer black girls."
Right.
Yeah. No, white girls, man. I'm saying, bruv, you like white girls. I ain't got no problem with you liking white girls, but I know what I like. I like black girls. I don't really, no offense to mixed race girls, I don't really resonate too good with mixed race girls.
The
Because
confusion.
they always start off cool at first, bruv, yeah?
The confusion,
And then the
man.
unbalancedness comes in and then they
Always.
switch like the wind. And I'm like,
Always.
I ain't even done nothing. That side kicked in.
Can you give an example of what you mean by the unbalanced? Go into that.
All right, so when you start with them, they like everything about you. They into you. Yeah, what's up? And I like you, and you get into it. Maybe you might sleep with them. Maybe you might not. You're just getting to know them. Then all of a sudden, bruv, the wind blows, bruv, and it's the next person you're looking at.
Like what though? Give examples.
Like they just get cold.
And you
They
think
just
that's because
switch.
they're white?
No, that's because they're
A mixed
I think
race,
because
sorry.
It's the mix.
So you're
The
saying the
unbalancedness.
black and the white, that makes them mix?
I
and they make them
personally,
switch?
I've been with black, I've been white, I've been with mixed race. Yeah.
Okay, so you're
And
seasoned.
I personally would say I see more balance on a white woman than a mixed race woman.
Definitely.
I agree. A lot of them get
Definitely.
bipolar.
Sorry.
A lot of them suffer from bipolar.
I'm sorry.
Mixed race people?
I've
Yeah, a
seen
lot of
more
them.
balance
Wow.
on a
Wow.
white woman than a mixed
Have their
race woman.
chemical
'Cause
imbalance, and
a
he's
mixed
correct.
race woman is
Yeah.
juggling with two. She don't know what side of the coin she's on.
Right.
1 minute she's with you, and then next minute she switches up.
Right. You're 100%.
1 minute she's with the white people, and then she switches up.
Yeah.
So let me ask all of you a question, one at a time. I'd love to hear your responses. But first, okay. You have a child. Your child wants to, as black men, your daughter or sons want to bring home a black woman or man. Now I want you to think about that while I give an example. those who know I have a 26-year-old son. And I've always said to him from as young as he would remember, whoever you choose to like or love is your decision. My door will be open. I'm not going to dictate your experiences. But if you were to give me a choice, of course, bring home a black queen. I've always said that. Now, I've put that to different people. I've heard two people, a woman and a man, both say that if their children brings home a white individual, they're going to disown them. That's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me. However, thankfully, my son did bring home a black queen and strengthen the bloodline by having a black child, fully black child. Mm-hmm. If he decided tomorrow to opt out, it wouldn't make me feel any different about him or his experiences, because my personal preference is mine. I can only share my preference as I would for myself, but it's wrong for me to inflict that and make your child feel a way about their journey. What's your thoughts, fellas?
I think that
your child brings home a white partner. What's your thoughts?
Look,
let me just say what I want to instill inside of her, because I got a daughter. Mm-hmm. I just want to keep her awakened. When I say awakened, I just want to keep her being conscious and just maintain that innocence, not in a ridiculous way, not in a naive way. I'm talking about more conscious of what the nature of reality we are in really is.
And may I ask, is the mother fully black, just so we know where you're coming from?
Oh yeah, okay. She's from Eritrea.
Okay.
And I think if I do that, she will do the right thing.
Okay, so you're talking about what you will install, like many of our parents do, but we still do our own thing along the way. So your child brings home a white male. What is your response? How do you feel about that? Forget about what you've installed. The reality is always often different to what our parents install.
There's nothing going to come out of me. It's just.
So you would accept her? Will you be welcome to your home?
It would just be It would just be what it is. But again,
so
I go back to what I said. And this is important for people to understand. What I'm talking about is not instilling things that parents instill inside of us. Go to school, do the right things. That's crap by itself. I want to get into school and healthcare, and I don't want to get too deep into that. But what I'm saying is to keep the nature of reality inside of her. Maintain, because there's nothing you're instilling inside your kids. They already have it.
Right.
Everybody's born with consciousness. It's just about maintaining the consciousness and not accepting the bullshit that's coming in from school or media, social media, healthcare, and all these, because all that's crap.
Right.
I can tell you that 99% of everything we've learned in our lives is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but it's
of
bullshit.
Course it is.
And if you unlearn that crap inside of them, they will always do the things that are natural to them. And my point of saying natural to them, because what's natural is for black people to nation build and to keep the bloodline strong. And I'm not saying, you got to understand, like what you said, some of you said that was very, very real. When you said that people keep saying, oh, black girls are harder to maintain. White girls are more white. The white mind or the white
is more dangerous.
Is more dangerous. Is venomous.
Yeah.
If you're coming from that state of mind that is very, very negative, that I'm telling you, we've been talking about early on. If you come from that state of mind, what you're going to have is something extremely venomous that even you don't understand. So black girls are cakewalk compared to white girls. Cakewalk.
So let me hear from Lee. Lee, what's your thoughts? So you have, when you have children and that day comes, what's your thoughts on your child bringing home a white man or a white woman? Do you accept it? Are they allowed to come to your house and have dinner with you?
Trouble laughing already.
Pork.
You know what? Honestly, all you can do is teach your children to to love themselves, number one. Whoever they fall in love with, that's another chapter in their life. As long as they made that decision and they're truly happy, then who am I really to judge?
How
are you going to welcome I'm asking specific questions and I don't want people to skate around it.
If my daughter or son brought home their partner, I would welcome them.
Right. Okay. Drumz, Sir Drumz, your two beautiful sons which you have brings home a white woman and they call them queen. Like one of my relatives, I read on the post, my queen, as I cringed. But I don't know how you can call them your queen, and I don't understand that. But anyway, what's your thoughts?
All right.
I didn't understand it. I saw my relative and I was like, your queen.
I'm going to keep it all the way 100, yeah? Me, personally, I'm not going to be impressed. Because I'm going to install in my children that, listen, you're never going to be equal with those people.
And maybe they don't have to be. Maybe they don't have to be.
They're never going to see you as equal. They're never going to accept you. Yeah? You're always going to be the Frank Bruno of the family when you go and connect with them.
You see, but I'm asking a specific question and you guys are giving me the teachings as opposed to what I'm asking you, which is they bring them home. They want you to meet their boyfriends or girlfriends. How do you feel? Will you embrace them? Is that person allowed to have dinner at your house?
All right.
You're going to pull up a chair.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
I will welcome you. Yeah? But I'm not going to fake it and act like I love you and you're my... No. But I will, but for my son's sake or my daughter's sake, I'll be civil.
Absolutely.
And say, yes, see a chair, yeah, here's some food, here's some drink, but I will be disappointed.
Right.
I will be disappointed, yeah, because I've seen it. I've seen when white folk come into your family, what happens to your family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your family got infiltrated. Your family's been watered down.
Pretty much.
I think I'd be a bit disappointed too.
So I'm being real with you. You can come in. I'm not gonna tell you to move your PC and your RC. I'm not gonna do none of that. But you don't. But me, I'm the head of this ship. You're not coming in here with no domination and trying to change up things.
Or no black jokes.
You might be able to do that to my son and my daughter, but you can't do that in here though.
Or no black jokes.
Yeah, you can't do that in here. And that's where a lot of black people mess up, because this slavery thing here that we talk about was because we invited people into our houses to eat. We invited them in to eat and drink, yeah? And when they came in to eat and drink, you didn't think in the middle of the food that they were going to come out with swords and this and that and hold you and your wife hostage. Who really holds the cook hostage? What type of person will do that?
Scoop, this is the kind of real questions that people need to be getting inside their heads. What you're asking is real. You know what I mean?
Who would really do that?
Yeah.
So if you're my daughter or my son's partner, you got to. I'll be like Farrakhan to you. We're gonna sit down and have these conversations.
Oh my gosh! Please let me get into it. Do you know? I have to jump in and say this. When I have been approached by white men in the past, one particular one, I just said it out of just saying it. I said, "Are you ready to watch Roots? Can you call me Kizzy?" Yeah. You know, and they're like, "What?" And that's the thing, though. You may let me just touch on this. This is what I've noticed. If you are not interested in Afrocentricism or your own blackness, you won't have these problems in your relationship. I've seen it. All these kind of things only come up when you are deeply into your roots. I have relatives, again I say, and friends and colleagues who don't have these issues because they don't mind listening to opera every day. There's no explanation. They don't mind. But when you're going to get someone who is into listening to Farrakhan and all this blackness and watch their roots and, whatever it is that you're watching or educating yourself in, it's a problem. You feel uncomfortable. Yeah? Unless they're going to be like a Justin Timberlake and they're going to be in your blackness. And as I say, the Justin Timberlakes, someone who's more cool and with it and hip. But I think that if you are just a regular black woman or man who is not interested in your journey, your ancestors' journey, the journey of your parents or anything like that, you're not going to have these issues which we're speaking about. You won't.
Because you're
Again, we call them Negropeans.
Yeah, I've noticed this. And the reason why I noticed is because when white men has come to me, there's instantly an issue. The issue is me. They don't have an issue, I'm just a woman who they like. And they just want to make it sexual and it's a fetish thing. But the issue is me, because I know that understanding will never be there. I can tell you about it, but they're more logical. They see it as, what's the problem? There's no problem. You can just teach me about it. But the soulfulness is missing. So I know the problem is me. I want to be able to share my knowledge, or be with someone who can feed my soul as I feed their mind. That's not going to be them. Not on that realm.
Because it's a culture clash, isn't it?
It's not even a clash. But some people will say, and many people have said, that the benefits of interracial relationships is learning and being open to that diversity and learning about different cultures and different races. And, you know, again, I say, and some people
I think that's a farce myself.
Well, here's the thing. We've got to remember something here. Unless you're someone who's had a relationship fully, I don't just mean sex, with a white person, this is just an opinion. Remember, knowing is different from belief. So when you say you think it's a farce, it's a belief system. It's not knowing, because you don't know.
It's a reality. Because
but it's not everybody's reality. We can't speak for everybody. We cannot.
We look at today's society, yeah? We've been tolerated. We're in the UK right now. We've just been straight tolerated.
Yes, but we're not talking about people. I'm talking about those people. You're right, and you can go on to that in a minute. Yeah, Mr. Political, I like it. Watch him. Hey, you know what I'm saying is, for some people, they don't have an issue. So I want to be mindful and say, my opinion's mine. Some people's facts is facts, which we've covered. But some people don't have these isms. They acknowledge the differences and they work it out. No different to two people from different religions.
Because they have no cultural curiosity.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's all it is.
They got no structure to them. If you can just get,
I'm just trying to be advocate.
If you can just get with anybody, yeah, and there's no culture clashes, that probably means that you ain't got no culture in you.
Absolutely,
I don't know about that. I don't think.
What else could it be? When you think about it, that's spot on. That's spot on.
Culture.
I don't feel just because two people are different races or from different cultures, which is a difference, that there has to be a clash. You've mentioned culture.
But you're saying
there has to be some curiosity.
Oh yeah, there has to be. There has to be. Oh, there has to be.
Substance.
There has to be curiosity.
So if you're not, if somebody is not giving somebody something,
right,
you're not growing from somebody culturally, spiritually, and mentally, you ain't got nothing to give. And that's what he's saying, and I agree.
And I get that. I mean, for a quick example, it's not interracial, but a quick example, as you mentioned, culture, which isn't race. Yeah. My father's Dominican, my mother's Jamaican, as I often say. My mother had no issue dating and marrying a Dominican. His side of the family did. If he wasn't strong in his own decisions, he wouldn't have married my mother. Real talk. But guess what? They're the same couple that's outdone all the motherfuckers who up to now didn't want them together. Up to now, the same ones that had something to say has separated from their own Dominicans, gone to African, which was bad in our time to be dating African. Now it's okay, more accepted in the Caribbean community. Okay, my parents has outdone all of them.
The funniest thing.
No, but
I'm sorry to laugh. No, it's just one of the most ridiculous.
It's crazy. Hang on, let me finish my point though. I'm glad you're laughing because it's ridiculous. You know, now it's okay. Now is, as you know, Caribbeans wasn't really dating Africans. Africans really weren't trying to be dating Caribbeans. So I'm giving an example. You mentioned culture, but they're both black people. Again, I say I'm from two different cultures, mixed with two different parents. Okay. Again, I say that's why I look so exotic. Anyway, very gel. Anyway, yeah. So what I'm saying is, though, my father had no issue. It's a black woman. My dad's always said, he's never really been into the white woman thing. It's never been. I don't know what his hidden secrets are, but he's always said he's never been into the white woman thing. Okay. But yet, his family weren't over keen on the Jamaican, and they have outlasted all of the motherfuckers who had something to say about it. To this day, married over 50 years.
That's a diamond. Over 50 years is a diamond.
Okay, right? So, so that's culture, even though they're both black. So even within the blackness, we have our issues that we're trying to now overcome. But I don't think that every interracial relationship, whether you're Chinese, white, whether you're black, white, whether you're whichever interracial we go, has to have a clash. There will always be differences. Again, I say no different to religion. Some people say the unequally yoked, but some people in different religions has made it work. They don't have to have the same person worshipping the same way. And I relate that also to interracial relationships. They have found a way. They've taught each other or balanced each other out in some way, and it's worked tremendously for some people. But again, I say my beef and find verbal shots is the people that intentionally avoid their own color. And basically you're avoiding yourself. Again, I say you're a lost soul.
All right. Before we go for breaks, I just want to finish what I was saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the club with my two Nigerian brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
And my two Nigerian brothers said that they ain't feeling no black woman. Yeah. They're not into black girls. Yeah.
Wow.
And they said, "Are you into black girls?" I said, "I'm into black girls." Right. And then the guy said to me, "Listen, I'm gonna come back in 2 hours. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't like black girls." And I'm thinking, this guy is a sellout. Like, what is he?
Man.
And he did. I'm telling you, he brought me to silence. I couldn't speak after what he showed me.
It's crazy.
He come back 2 hours now. But remember, we're drinking, we're waved up, everybody's enjoying themselves. Man's looking at girl, every different thing, yeah. And he come back and said, "You still like black girls?" I said, "Of course I still like black girls." He said, "Now watch this. Watch what I'm going to show you now." He said, "Look outside," because we're in the VIP. He said, "Look outside the VIP. What can you see?" I said, "Look, I see girls in it." He said, "What colour are the girls?" He said, "Look at the bar. Look there. Look at the bar. Look at what colour are the girls." I look. It's like bare white girls at the bar, ordering drinks and this and that. And he goes, "Now look in here. Have a look in here." And I look in here, yeah, it's all black girls. And he goes, "Which one of these black girls in there has got their own drink?" And I looked around the VIP, yeah, and I saw a bare black girl sitting around just waiting for someone to pour a drink. And I couldn't even speak.
Is that for free drinks? We're looking for a man to buy the drinks.
I couldn't even speak. I felt so low at that point. I thought to myself, I couldn't. What could I say? What could I say to this?
I don't think that's a reason for him to not date black girls.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, but
that's
what I'm saying. That shut me down that day.
I hear his point though,
That shut me
but
down
that shouldn't
that
be a reason why
It's
you
crazy.
don't date your own.
You know, it's crazy. It kind of reminds me.
Interesting. It's also reflective, and that's the beauty of different minds coming together and conversing and freeing your thoughts on free-flowing thoughts. It's not about trying to persuade any individual with what we're saying or thinking. It's just about if we can thought evoke anybody. And let me just say this for the record. If there's anybody out there that is in a interracial relationship, considering it, had one, would never have one, whatever it is, and you would like to have your say as an individual who has fully experienced a fully blown relationship, hit us up so we can invite you into the studio and have a round 2 on this discussion. It's only fair. Yeah, it's only fair. Or you can call the number 0203 432 1333.
Excellent. So, let's get in again, right? What I want to ask you now, my brother, yeah?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on people that like interracial relationships more than their own?
Well, it's very easy for me to ask. My brother's one of them.
Put him on blast, boy.
Yeah. You know, Kenny.
Too, but boy.
I've got a few family members myself, you know what I mean?
It's a lot like what
But
you
can
described.
I ask you a question as you go into it? Is your brother the person that avoids his own? That's the ones that have beef with, not the ones that are open to black and white. Does he
doesn't-
avoid his own? Would he date a black woman?
Oh yeah, he goes to Nigeria a lot and just, you know, he just.
No. But would he proper go out? Would he marry one? Would he settle one? Or is it just a black fling? But still, he just wants to settle down with a white woman.
He wouldn't settle down with a black woman, no.
Okay, so then I'm rocking with you on that thought. Then,
Yeah,
then
he wouldn't do it because
You don't
when he
appreciate
goes to
that
Nigeria, he
sisters.
goes to Jamaica. When he goes to Atlanta, all he's doing is getting ass. So,
Okay, but when it comes to putting on the ring, he's only going to give the white
Oh,
woman.
she already got the ring.
Oh Lord.
With 2 kids and all.
Okay.
Picket
okay.
white fence and a dog. That ain't even happening.
He's a realist thing, you know.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Does he know how you feel?
He knows how I feel. He knows I'm completely disappointed in him because he had a lot of potential to fulfill the promise that we were all taught. Like I said, I come from a civil rights family, so he understands what it is to be black and to love when I stepped in this room, I love this man, and I love this man, and to be honest with you, I'm not a talker.
What about this woman?
I love you too.
Okay.
I take a bullet for y'all. See, I tell you why, because I'm not a talker, I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in people that talk.
Yeah.
And my track record, if you ask anybody who knows me from New York, they'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be a tough guy or anything, but if I talk it, I'm living it. You know what I mean? I've talked a lot of stuff and I've lived a lot of stuff. I've been in places before where bullets are whizzing past me and I've risked my life and not just sitting on the couch. I put my life in danger before, you know, for a lot of people, a lot of reasons before. I was there, and I shit you not, this is my daughter's life. The day before the World Trade Center happened, I was sitting with 4 people, we're getting high. I ain't keep it 100. We're getting high and talking about a whole lot of stuff. I can't remember what we're talking about. It was me and 4 other girls and my homeboy. My battery was dying on my phone. There was a phone shop right outside, and I went and put my phone in there. Went back to my friends and we was talking, whatever, chopping it up. And the reason why I was in that area is because there's a college called BMCC. You can Google this. It's just right behind the World Trade Center. There's a little cafe and we was chilling out there. Cut the long story short, I left the phone in there and drove home like an idiot. Forgot my phone in the phone shop. So I had to bring that same girl back to school the next morning. And I did bring her back. But I brought her back 2 hours after the plane had hit. So when we got there, we thought it was a Spielberg movie or something that we shooting a movie. That's what we thought, because, you know, sometimes you shoot this damn, you know, holographic thing in the sky where it could turn into a building, but it's just a hologram. So we thought it was just the building was burning, because nobody had told us.
Plus you was high.
Exactly. I was too, goddammit, I was.
Still high from it? Okay.
I was, hell yeah, man. You know, hey, I live in Washington Heights, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Got that, you know, that perp. The purple haze, baby. So, you know, somebody's like, no. Somebody, you know, some planes hit the World Trade Center. I'm like, was it a mistake? Was it a thing where they, you know, no, it was like, no, it was on purpose. Somebody hit the World Trade Center. 2 planes. So I'm looking at the damn thing burning. I'm like, oh man, that's pretty fucked up. My point of talking about that is that every single person in there just bought it. That, oh, there was some terrorist attack and somebody hit the World Trade Center. I'm like, how do you know how do you know this is not an orchestrated thing? Everybody in that area is trying to attack me. Imagine like a whole bunch of people say, you're talking shit, stop talking stupid, you're un-American. Like, what are you talking about?
How does that relate? Wait, how does that relate to interracial relationships? Just so I understand where we're going.
No. Like, my point is this: is like, there's perception, and there's just, you know, when you know something. My brother, the reason why he likes what he likes is because he's scared. He's scared because he doesn't want to put the work in to be in a relationship that actually fulfills him.
That's the key word, the work. Many black men don't want to put the work into the black woman that's required. So they will go with the
But it goes the other way too, with women.
Of course it does. With the black women, I don't think they have an issue with putting in the work. They're just tired of the isms. I mean, again, I say there's a black women that want just to experiment and want different. And there's black women that's tired of the mentality that comes with black men. Again, with women, but tired of what they would call the ghetto love, the stereotypes, the non-romantic, the stereotypes, you know.
Please explain a bit more.
Sorry?
You heard me.
What would you like me to explain?
You're talking about ghetto love and everything else.
Well, I'm telling you.
Please break it down.
Okay, what I'm saying to you
Teach me like I'm a 4-year-old.
What I'm saying is just different reasons why black women would to why black men would. I have come across more so black men that go with white women because of the easier, controlled and tamed behavior they can have on the white woman and repress her differently.
So it's perceived.
I'm not going to speak for. I'm not going to speak.
Reality.
Hang on a minute. I'm not going to speak for every single person. Of course, I'm not. But I've seen the difference myself. I told you, I've heard black men say, you know what, the attitude, I can't really take it, and the white woman more will put out the money for them or whatever it is, more supportive or whatever it is.
So we're talking economic space then.
With the black women now, I have been told it's a case of the white men they've come across more so than black in abundance have been more romantic, more making love than just bedroom work. Okay, the ghetto love. can I come on your house? Can you cook? Can I come on and bun weed? I mean, there are a lot of black men that disapproach you like that.
Can I say something though, Sylv? Quick interjection, yeah? When you're saying like black women are saying they're more romantic and all that, all it is that they're just catering to your ego. And then
romance is about the heart. It's not about ego.
But it is, because basically, I know a lot of white guys that date black women, yeah, and a lot of the black women don't like the white guys that act like they're black.
Oh no, I didn't.
They like the white guys that act like they're white. Like, oh,
but you've come off a little bit gay. What I'm saying, I didn't say at all in this particular moment the white men that act black. I'm saying the different type of approach and the loving is going to be different.
But listen to what I'm saying to you. You're saying that black women are fed up. Some black women.
Many black women are fed up of the black guy, typical Caribbean approach. Of course, fed up of it.
All right. Now, what I'm trying to say to you is, the black man is being himself, and the white man is catering to your ego.
We don't care though.
And then when you get married to that white man, you start realizing this ain't a real man.
I don't think you can't speak for everybody.
No,
you cannot speak for everybody. How many black women do you know that's married white men and said this ain't the real man? I mean,
I've seen many black.
That goes with black on black. That goes with Asian and Asian. I mean, there's divorces in many.
Do you know what
cultures.
happens to those black women?
What happens to those black women?
They end up wearing the trousers.
Can I just tell you something?
You didn't marry
Can I tell you something? I've come across many a black men where I've walked out of the connectivity because I'm wearing trousers when I shouldn't be. So that, again, is just a perception. You know, masculinity comes in all forms of colours. Yeah?
Sure it does.
Yeah, masculinity and alpha maleism, which I love, I'm very rare to come across, comes in all shades and colours. So I wouldn't say because she's now dated the white man and married into a white man, it means that she's suddenly going to wear the trousers. No, but there's a lot of alpha males who are white. You know, and remember, I'm speaking for those who has lived it. I've done researches. I've spoke to people. I've known people. You know, and I'm trying to be balanced. But again, I can't speak from a perspective of relationship. I've never had a relationship with a white man. I had one liaison in my younger days, 23 years ago. That doesn't stand for anything. So what we're discussing is opinions from observing other people's relationships. But those who are in it are the only ones who can really speak their truth, which is why we're welcoming you. Yeah.
You know, they did a survey one time where somebody was actually stopping couples, and they gathered a lot of intel, and then they put the intel through my computer. What it came down to is they were saying that a lot of the mixed couples, the word that insecurity kept popping up a lot of times in different aspects of the questions they were asking, that insecurity. It's all, again, the organic thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
If you have an organic connection with somebody,
where you're not avoiding your own.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is that in the end, when you procreate with somebody, does it give you the fulfillment that you truly want?
Some people could say yes.
And do you really breathe those fulfillment into your children?
Some people
because a
could
lot
say
of
yes.
the mixed race children that we seen from the U.S. to here, it just seems broken.
Okay.
Well, bottom line is we're generally broken people.
Okay.
In the first place, yeah. So we are coming from a broken place, slavery.
So how can a mixed race situation fulfill you?
Well, technically, if you're running away from yourself, bottom line is a lot of people are. This is why we take drugs, isn't it? And alcohol and everything else, because you want a quick high, you want a quick fix, you want to fit into society, and you're not too sure. And
that's the reason why people take drugs and alcohol.
Well, basically, because
really?
it's not. Because it's recreation. So it's not. It doesn't help you build you spiritually.
No.
It breaks you down.
Right.
Yeah?
Any addiction does.
Okay.
But that's food, drink, alcohol, sex.
All right. So
nothing in intoxication if you take it too much.
I'm not trying to go too deep in that. What I'm trying to say is, if we're broken people and we're running from ourselves, self-love, therefore, you're broken, you're chasing everything else. So everything now, the grass looks green on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, society's saying, boy, you know what? One time, I'm going to tell you something. I was doing printer engineering one time, and I was with like 4 black brothers, and I was on my 6-month probation. My boss happens to be European, from Czech Republic at the time. I've seen the rest of the brothers, we're in West End at a Christmas party, they were talking to white girls. And I'm thinking, how come everyone's talking to white girls? So these, like, there's a bunch of white girls, they start talking to me, I'm start chatting them up and everything else. Do you know, after that, during that night, my next friend said, cause I'm like, yeah, you got the job. And I'm thinking, how sad is that? I just happened to talk to a couple of white women and I seem to be safe. And I'm, the job's secured. Now I'm 3 months in, it's not 6 months yet, I'm now secured. And then that's when I realised, you know what? If you mingle more and you kind of want to look like you want to be a part of them, they more accept you. If you seem too straight and you're yourself, yeah, nation, 100, whatever, nah, you're too black, see you later.
That's modernized slavery in the mind.
Right?
If
So
you ask me.
I'm just breaking it down. So what we got to say to, like, for our children and stuff, we got to start looking at ourselves, right? Instead of blaming, like, my sisters blaming brothers, they this and that, and brothers blaming sisters, they this and that. Let's take a step back, analyze ourselves, share, build ourselves, give love to ourselves. So therefore, this within, you can now only give it to your partner. Because if you're frightened and you're scared, you're only going to give that energy to your partner. Yeah, and this is where it comes down to communication again, right? Selective communication. We only tell us the good side, what we want. We don't want to go too deep. So your partner doesn't want to go deep. She don't want to go deep. You don't want to go deep.
Let's avoid the situation.
So therefore, you're now living a lie.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're building your house. That's your energy.
But
Beautiful.
Excellent. Interestingly enough, when you spoke about mingling and being accepted more because you mingled, do you know my previous neighbours, my previous property, I had some really nice neighbours, and I had issues with black neighbours that just constantly was harassing me because I didn't want to be a part of their friendship group. Another story. But anyway, one day I realised that, well, I think they accepted me more because they didn't think I was full black. Because one day my white neighbour said, that woman next door, she's really blick. And I was like, excuse me? She goes, she's really blick. And I'm like, you do realise I'm blacker than black? She goes, well, no, you're not as black as her, are you? So I then realised that I guess they liked me more because they thought I was mixed race.
Maybe.
The girl next door was dark skinned and beautiful, but even though we had beef. Okay? But the word blick, it came off my white neighbour's tongue so easily because she didn't think I was fully black. Until I said to her, I'm as blick as they come. That's how I said it. She was like, oh, but you're mixed race. I said, no. I lived there for how many years? Years. And she didn't realise. But listen, as we wind this down, let's have our last words. Let me go to Drum. What's your last words on this topic of interracial?
My words are what Lee said, is about loving ourselves and communicating with ourselves and doing everything for ourselves. Because if we look at society and what's going on with the black people, they're always talking about what they don't like in men and what they don't like in black women, but they're never talking about what they don't like in white folk. And we should stick together and we should communicate and unify and make ourselves stronger. We're never talking about that. We're always talking about, black women are fed up of black guys doing this, and black guys are fed up of black women doing that. That's why they're going to white women. And in actual fact, me personally, how I live and how I feel right now is you can be with anybody you want to be with. You want to be with someone that's green, that's good for you. Yeah? But just don't ask me my opinion, because I'm going to give you the real one.
Okay, let me go on to Chi. What's your last thoughts? Free them, my brother, free them.
This is probably going to go away from what we're talking about because whenever I have a chance to talk to people or whatever, I like to plant seeds inside people.
Okay, so plant it real quick.
Okay. Ultimately, I think that people have to just be aware of what's in their subconscious, what they're putting in their subconscious, and understand that a lot of things they don't even know they're doing, but they're already doing it based on something that's already in their subconscious. You can be with whoever you feel organically connected to, but I think that it's very important for melanated people to nation build.
Absolutely.
Especially right now.
Absolutely. Okay,
100.
Lee, what's on your mind for your last thoughts?
Well, okay, basically, I just believe that, like what I was saying a bit earlier, that we need to channel our energies within ourselves. to grow within and have that love and respect for each other. See what I mean? And then that's when we now will be more, emotionally available. You see what I mean? Because a lot of us are unavailable. We want to be in relationships, and we're not representing our true selves. So we only going in maybe 40% or 50%. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my personal last thoughts is, regardless of the trials and tribulations that I've experienced in relationships, which is also a reflection of myself, black men, allow me to say this: you are magnificent. You are truly beautiful. We all know about the black struggle, okay? But regardless of the isms, you're magnificent. So as we wrap this up, say thank you. Say thank you, both of you. I just called you beautiful. You're magnificent. I have a black prince. I have a black prince, and for me as a son, no matter where my attention, lust or desires may turn in the future, or in the past or present, no other could come before my own, the beauty of blackness. So as we draw this topic of the hour to a close.
Can I just say one?
Go ahead. I thought you already had your one.
No. I need to add this extra.
Go on.
We got a couple.
The sisters, the empresses, yeah, I want to say you're beautiful. I love you no matter what shape, size,
That's right.
whatever you look like. You're beautiful, and I rate you. And I'm always gonna give you that ratings, yeah. Right. Even if I do see you with a white folk, because I'm not racist towards white folk. If I see you with a white man, yeah, that's your choice, yeah. But just don't try and look down on me. You know what I mean? Just know that when you see me, because there's a lot of sisters when they see you with white man, they turn their face or they got a funny look or they just want to bend up their face. I'm not in that, yeah. I will look at you with your white man, yeah. Because I want you to know that you're an empress and you're a queen. Okay. Yeah? So I don't want you to be walking past me with your white man and bending up your face or putting your face down on the floor, and then that white man's looking in my face like, "You right, mate? Is everything all right?" No, everything ain't all right. Because me and my sister ain't connecting. Okay. Yeah. So you're a queen anyway. I love you.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up this topic.
Okay, and also
no,
mine was quicker than this. Anyway, I just want to say, if a brother says good morning to you, yeah, please acknowledge him.
Okay, so now I'm going to wrap up this topic for the night. Okay, thank you both, and my special guest, which is Lee on my left and Chi on my right. What a beautiful balance.
Peace and two fingers, people.
Okay, but just before we depart, allow me to read you a quote of the day, and it reads, "Deep down, you all know the truth." Written by an unknown writer. Good night.
Good night. Love and respect.